Hi everyone, welcome to iMac Likes Bikes. As you can see, behind me is my brand new to me 2018 Triumph T120 Black Bonneville. Then as you can see, I've had quite the love affair with pedal bikes as well. Most road bikes and a mountain bike and fat bike as well. But it's time for a little bit of change for this spring and just add a motorcycle back into the collection. Got rid of my last one about 4 or 5 years ago, I think. So the purpose of today's video is to explain to you a little bit about some of the changes that I'm going to make to this bike. Now, I found online a number of guys that have done amazing things to their Bonnevilles and just love them. I do like a bit more of the naked look. As you can see here, Frank, the previous owner of this bike, he liked to tour with it. And I totally understand the need for windshields and saddlebags and all of that to make your ride more comfortable. But that's not the type of riding I'm going to be doing. I'll be doing mostly city riding. I've got 4 young kids. And so really my time is when they're in bed or, you know, on the weekends and just for kind of short riding and to and from work when I can. I live in Edmonton, Canada. This is very cold right now. Very snowy. Our motorcycle season is quite short, you know, from probably end of April to maybe end of September, maybe a little bit into October if you push it. So, you know, it's again going to be kind of for short trips, etc. And so, you know, I want to make it mine and do a couple things to it. So let me give you a tour of what I want to do. Most of this is actually built off of what Dan at BSMC did. I'll put a link here to his video. Absolutely beautiful work. Really love some of the things he did. I'm going to incorporate a few different things of my own, and we'll see as things progress. Today is day 2 with the motorcycle, and I actually already picked up some of the accessories from Triumph that I want. And so, yeah, so I'm going to give you a quick tour. Just walking around the bike, telling you a couple of the ideas that I am going to do, yeah, document that as we go along here. So I hope you enjoy. So starting at the front of the bike, I mean, I guess actually the most obvious thing is the windshield will be removed. I don't typically need a windshield to ride. I did love it on my previous bike, pictured here having a full fairing with stereo, etc. But again, this bike is totally different from that bike. And yeah, so I'll be removing the windshield. I bet that'll happen today, actually. Removing the back, the saddlebags. As well, I suspect with the saddlebags, I'm going to remove the grab bar and a couple other things to make it a bit more naked. So starting up front though, I am gonna go with the shorty front fender. I am going to probably put on a bit of a cooler looking headlight guard, then remove the huge orange signals and put in something probably very minimalistic in there. Then moving up to the handlebars, I'll be removing the mirrors and doing some bar end mirrors. I'm probably going to do something interesting with the grips, maybe leather wrapped grips. Definitely changing out the silver levers for, I believe, black shorty levers. I did actually pick up yesterday some of the Triumph OEM black levers that they have. They're, again, I think they're a little large, and especially for someone who's used to riding mountain bike, and you know, I think that those will feel weird to me now. So I'm gonna probably do that. Moving to the tank, I am going to do the retractable gas cap that Dan had done on his bike. I then am also going to black out more of the engine to the extent that I can, which will include, you know, these bits here, down here as well, the clutch cover there, and the ACG cover on the other side. Yeah, do some painting to get that blacked out a little bit, probably the head cover bolts and a couple of the bolts over time, though that's pretty minor. I'm gonna keep the stock exhaust for now. I think it looks great. From what I can tell, it sounds great, but I am gonna put in a Motone X pipe, and I'll do that myself. And then for the rear of the bike, I'm gonna put the Motone tail tidy on. That looks like to be one of the best ones. get that cleaned up a lot, get some LED turn signals, probably what Dan has in the back there, those really bright little ones that go into the bolt holes. Then after all of that is done, I suspect after, I am going to repaint, I think. Now, I am getting into doing some custom painting with bike frames, hence why there's bike frames hanging up there. Those are tester ones that I'm going to be stripping and then just painting to see what I can do. I do have a great gun from Italy. I have some House of Color paints that I'll be working with. And the intention here, I think, will be to get a vintage 4-bar logo there. And then after that, I'm going to paint it effectively black, but with some kind of brown gold pearl to it, I think is what I'm going to try, and go back to the matte black. When I say back to the matte black, when I was looking for a motorcycle, I was actually really considering ordering a 2021 T120 black in the matte jet black because I love the matte look. I think it just looks so sick. And so I would like to take this bike back to its matte look. And so, that's the intention, is that maybe I can do that with my own custom painting. Hopefully I can get to that point with the skill level and be able to do that. But yeah, I think for today's purposes, like I said, I'm going to remove the windshield and the saddlebags just to kind of get that totally cleaned up, and then we'll go from there, adding some of the custom touches. So just doing a little bit of windshield demolition or deconstruction here. Looks like this, I think this is by Madstedt Engineering, and it's a pretty simple design, it would seem, with just a few bolts holding things on. I've actually already done the other side and taken this off, so this should be pretty straightforward. I think with this bolt off, it's going to pull right off. Looks like there might be a little bit of scratching on the actual headlight mount there, which I'll have to deal with at some point, but yeah, not too bad so far. So let's see. Simple process. Hopefully not scratching too much. And we'll just lift it clean off. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of scratches and stuff here. I'll have to clean up, sand up, and maybe respray that. Not a big deal. I can fix that. Back to sort of naked bike status. That sure looks a lot better to me. Of course, to each their own, but yeah. I like it without the windshield for sure. Okay, now that we've removed the front windshield, it's time to remove these bad boys. Now, I actually really like these. I think these are absolutely phenomenal looking. They look like they function really well in terms of a saddlebag. Clearly, I'm not a fan of having saddlebags on this particular bike at all times, but I could see, again, using these, you know, if there was a long tour that I wanted to do or a big trip or whatever. So I'm definitely keeping them. They are SW Motec ones that, again, came with the bike. So it looks like the removal of the actual unit is really easy because they're meant to come off very easily, and I've actually got grab handles and stuff here. It'll be the removal of the remaining parts that are holding it on. That'll be a bit of a challenge, but hopefully this will go pretty smoothly. Let's start. First, I'm just getting into it. There's a little clip down here that, or dial actually, that you push in to release it, so that then all it is to release it is actually, that was sort of a lock. It should be, there we go. That's all she wrote. Looks like the previous owner left me the manual in here. That's great. So as we can see, there's a bar here that looks like it's connected to our fork, as well as the grab bar bolts here. Again, I'm pretty sure the previous owner used longer bolts here that came with the bags, and I don't have the standard, so we'll see. Again, this whole thing might be taken out anyways as I do the tail tighten. So yeah, anyways, we'll remove this for sure just to clean up the look for now. Yeah, let's see what happens. And I guess there we are, basically back to stock. Last thing I have to do is check to see these bolts are not going to go back in, I can tell you that much. These are longer than standard, so I will need to find some black, whatever these are, bolts. So yeah, that was pretty easy. Looks pretty good, pretty happy with it. So now, this is where we're at. Looks pretty clean. Thanks everyone for watching. Hit like and subscribe, thanks.